All right, Larry Krueger here for the Pig and a Pickle Krug Show with a little 49er video as we recap everything that happened down here in Santa Clara on a Thursday in Ninerland as the Niners are getting ready to take on the New Orleans Saints in New Orleans coming up on Sunday. And of course, we're brought to you by Pig and a Pickle, the best barbecue in all of Northern California. Check them out. They're in Emeryville. They're in Corte Madera. They're open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. or until they run out. And they do run out. So get there early, get some brisket chili. Tell them Krug sent you. We're also, of course, headed to New Orleans, thankfully, thanks to Claw Daddy Arcades, who's a great follow on Instagram, at Claw_Daddy_Arcades for a location near you. It's got locations opening this summer in Capitola Mall and Visalia Mall. And this 49er football season is presented by Sleeper, the fastest growing fantasy platform in the world. We'll tell you about them in a minute. But first of all, let's talk a little bit about what happened down here in Santa Clara on this Thursday as the Niners getting ready to take on the Saints in New Orleans. Now, Brock Purdy is going to be out 2 to 5 weeks. He did not practice today. He was nowhere in sight at practice. He's got turf toe. He's going to miss at least 2 weeks. It could be as many as 5. Obviously, a bad break for the 49ers. Now, Adrian Martinez is going to be that number 2 quarterback. You know, interestingly, the Niners aren't bringing back Tanner Mordecai or Carter Bradley, and I'm not sure why. We'll ask that question, but maybe those guys have injuries, but they're going with Adrian Martinez. John Lynch went on KMBR and described Martinez as a winner, and I think that's a good compliment for him. I think it's appropriate. The guy played good football for K-State, good football for Nebraska. He just won in the UFL. He's playing pretty good football. So, I kind of like Adrian Martinez. I'm eager to see what he looks like. Hopefully we won't find out because that means Mac Jones has been knocked out of the game. Braden Willis is going to get the practice squad promotion to replace George Kittle, who's on the IR. The Niners are still 3.5-point favorites to win this game. Couple notes from practice today. No Trent Williams. He did work out on the side. No Jennings. He also worked out on the side. George Kittle, obviously nowhere to be found with the IR. There was no Brock Purdy. He was not at practice. I did see CMC, Nick Bosa, Yatir Gross-Matos, Ben Barch, all those guys practiced today, getting ready for the Saints this weekend. CMC, I saw him running around. Jordan James with the finger injury returned to practice. That was good to see. We had our first look at Messiah Swinson. The big tight end was wearing number 43 out at practice today. Adrian Martinez did practice right next to Mac Jones, and he will be Jones's backup for this game. I thought it was kind of interesting. Our buddy Sterling Bennett had an interesting stats on Eddie Pinheiro. Career against the Saints, he's 16 for 17 field goal wise and 8 for 8 on PATs. So that's what Pinheiro has done career against New Orleans. And it's interesting. I also saw an interesting stat. If you took Ricky Pearsall's last 3 regular season games, so Week 1 last week against Seattle, and then the 2 games last week, and you extrapolate those over a 17-game season, this is basically Pearsall's last 3 games, it would equate to a season with 102 catches, 1,802 yards, and 11 touchdowns. So are we seeing the emergence of a great young player in Ricky Pearsall, or is it just 3 fortunate games? I guess we'll find out Sunday in the Big Easy inside the Superdome. As far as numbers to keep track of, Bourne is wearing 84, Jordan James wearing 29, Eddie Pinheiro and Adrian Martinez right now, at least for the time being, are both wearing number 18. Jordan Watkins is wearing number 17. Messiah Swinson is wearing number 43. If there was anything of significance that I saw today at practice, I would probably say it was Jordan Watkins, number 17, running with the ones at wide receiver. The wide receivers do these drills, and, it looks like it's kind of a random order, but it's not. The best wide receivers go first, and the guys, it's basically they're doing this drill in like how the depth chart sits. So the highest rated wide receivers will go 1, 2, and then the 2s go next, the 3s goes next, the practice squad guys go next. So interestingly enough, today with the ones, there was no Jennings, but you still had veterans out there like MVS, Russell Gage, you had other guys out there. it was Jordan Watkins. Jordan Watkins and Ricky Pearsall were kind of running with the ones, if you want to call it that, in the drills at practice. So that could be an indication that Jordan Watkins is not just going to come back, but he might come back and play a significant role in this game. It's something definitely to watch for. As far as the Niners and being banged up, there's been 2 times since 2020 that 49ers have led the league in injuries, and both times they finished with 6 wins. They were one of the most injured teams all summer. They now, in week 2, have 8 players on IR and 2 players on the PUP. So you've got 10 players on either IR or PUP, and it's only week 2. So that's obviously not a good sign for the 49ers. If they're hurt all year, it's going to show in the standings. Interestingly enough, Nick Bosa made a great point when he said that, he feels like if Mac Jones had to play, it's better that it's now and not later, because if it's now, at least Mac Jones played in the preseason and has that momentum having played in the preseason. He doesn't have to shake off rust or anything like that. He's already played, and he's played recently, as opposed to if he stepped out there in week 10 or 11 or 12 or 13, he may not have played for months, and now he's trying to step out on the field and participate. It's a difficult thing to do. Now, Brock Purdy did it in the 2022 season, but it's not an easy thing to do. The other thing to watch for, and we're going to talk to Robert Saleh, is how much do you think he'll blitz this week? Now, in week 1 against Seattle, he blitzed. He sent 5 or 6 man pressures on 7 out of 27 Seattle pass plays. So, it'll be interesting to see, does he go after Spencer Rattler, or does he sit back and let the rookie try to be accurate? There's two schools of thought, right? One is speed up the quarterback and make a young quarterback decide quickly. Another one is drop into coverage and make a young quarterback be accurate and prove that he can be accurate. And to me, I think that's going to be one of the things to watch for in this game. Does Saleh try to speed up and give Rattler maybe some predefined looks and try to speed him up and see if you can force him into some mistakes? Or does he drop back, put extra guys into coverage, and make Spencer Rattler prove that he can be accurate and throw the ball into those tight windows? To me, that's going to be one of the real interesting things to watch in this game for sure. And then I think the other thing is can the 49ers run the ball? I mean, Arizona, if you look at Arizona in the game against New Orleans in week 1, they really did run it well, 5.4 a carry. And to me, that just seems, with Jordan James up, with CMC healthy at this point, and you got Garendo, and obviously, the 49ers have Robinson. They've acquired Brian Robinson. This could be a very run-heavy plan for the Niners, and it wouldn't surprise me at all if it wound up being a very run-heavy game plan. This 49er football season, as we told you, is presented by Sleeper, the fastest-growing platform in the world. It's a one-stop shop. You get blazing fast news, real-time stats, group chat, season-long leagues, and, of course, Sleeper picks for fantasy. Use promo code Larry, and Sleeper will match your first deposit up to $100. Links in the description. Terms and conditions apply. And thanks to Sleeper for being a proud sponsor of The Krug Show, and thanks to all of you guys for supporting The Krug Show. Check me out tonight at 6 o'clock on KMBR Radio. Todd Husak's going to stop by, and we'll chop it up and look ahead to the Niners and the Saints Sunday in the Dome. And thanks for supporting The Krug Show on YouTube.